ever had a friend that like the more you kind of watch the interactions the two of you have had, the more you're like, I don't think you actually have my best interests in mind. You know? We on the same page? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. So, this episode is actually going to be me talking about a lot of characters in media, right? Um, excuse me, mainly cartoons, but I think I do have like one bit of like media that's real people, but it doesn't really matter. They all suck. Um, but I'm going to be going through a list of some of the worst characters that I have seen in media as like best friends. Excuse me. I will acknowledge there's probably some worse people, and I'm just not either thinking of them or, they just didn't have that much of an impact or I never watched the show. But these were the characters that really bothered me the most, especially as I was growing up and I watched it and like I rewatched it and I'm like, y'all were kind of shisty. So, also, welcome back. I'm really excited about getting into this. So, this is the community corner. I'm Jazz. Hello. Um, let's go. So we're starting off with Dejanay from the Proud Family. If you've never seen the Proud Family, the best synopsis I can give you, it's a cartoon about a suburban family. Think of like if Beyonce didn't become famous and like became a veterinarian in Texas and married and Jay-Z was a bum, Because they still have the same amount of kids, like and it's the same kind of setup. They had like the oldest daughter and then they had twins, a boy and a girl. But that's the best, like that's the family dynamic. That's the best I can set up for you. But the friend group, fake. The whole friend group is so fake. We're really here to talk about Dejanay, so that's what I'm gonna focus on. But Zoe, La Cienega, Sticky was alright. He was kind of more stable than the rest of them, I'll give you that. But the other two, Zoe was wrong. Besides the point, Dejanay was the best friend. So, starting off, so Penny throws a party, right? And Dejanay is already in the wrong because she tells La Cienega that Penny is throwing a party. So La Cienega also throws a party. So they both throw parties at the same time. And Dejanay even promises, like, oh my God, girl, I'm going to come to your party. Don't worry, I'll be there. So she, Sticky, and Zoe show up. They ask if they can park their car in the driveway. And Penny's like, yeah, of course, thinking they're coming in. Nah, they went across the street to La Cienega's party. And that was already a little shisty, but then, in my opinion, it gets shistier because then they don't let this other boy named Myron into La Cienega's party, right? Because I guess he's too uncool. Dejanay herself, out of her own mouth, apparently tells Myron that he should go to Penny's party because Penny is desperate and would take anyone. That's what she said. Thank you from my best friend. Thank you so much for telling the social pariah that I'm desperate and I would take anybody. Are you serious? Are you for real? Come on, bro. Come on, man. And then there's also the episode where there's like a concert going on or whatever, right? And they all get their tickets, but Penny's parents, La Cienaga's parents, and Dejanay's parents are all going on this like couples retreat. La Cienaga's an only child, so she can do what she wants, but Penny and Dejanay have younger siblings, so they can't go to the concert. Penny does end up selling her ticket back to the Gross sisters. Dejanay does not. This is important. So they do decide to do like the babysitting together. But in doing so, Dejanay's brothers and sisters start tearing up Penny's house. And they want to watch this one cartoon. Penny's like, it's not on TV. So Dejanay's like, oh my God, girl, I got the DVD at my house. Like, don't worry, I'll bring it. Like, I got it. I'll just go and get it myself. I'll be right back. Penny was like, nah, girl, don't leave. But Dejanay was like, don't worry, it's fine. I'll be right back. You know what that girl did? I'm sure y'all can guess. She went to the concert. Yes, yes, she went to the concert. She left Penny there by herself. Trifling. What kind of friend? Like, you can kind of expect that kind of behavior from somebody you're not super close with, but if you're supposed to be my dog, we're supposed to be doing this together. Like we're supposed to be hanging out together. And mind you, during the whole babysitting endeavor, Dejanay was just chilling on the couch, headphones on, CD player in her lap, like, hey man, whatever. They ain't my kids. That was literally the attitude. Um, there was also um the episode where she ditched Penny to hang out with Penny's younger brother and sister. So this was kind of a weird episode. Penny makes a wish. Her BB and Cece, they get older because I guess Penny was tired of like having to take care of them all the time. So BB and Cece age up. They're like Penny's age now, and they're suddenly way popular. Can you imagine? Can you imagine your baby brother and sister come to your high school while you're still in high school and they become more popular than you? And then they tell your parents, like, oh my God, we don't want to take them. They have no friends. Like, you stole my friends. What do you mean? Besides the point. Little siblings are always going to piss you off. That's besides the point. Dejanay, you're supposed to be my dog. Where are you going? Why are you going to hang out with my brother and sister? Last month, you just had to help me change their diapers. What are you talking about? They're cooler than me. What? Dead. Whatever. Um, but yeah, so like, there's obviously other instances, but it's pretty much the same thing. Like, Dejanay is just flaky. At the end of the day, she a flake. Um, but my thing about their relationship is Penny ain't perfect. You know, Penny was a little trifling too. She had to learn her lessons here and there too. Like there's the episode where what was it? Lord help me, Jesus. I literally wrote it down. I can't read all of a sudden. Oh my God, y'all. I cannot believe I forgot that fast. But there's the episode where Penny and like Co become, famous as a girl group, but then Wizard DJ Kelly, that's his name, right? The DJ Wizard Kelly? DJ Wizard it's Wizard Kelly. Maybe it's just is there DJ in it? I'm focusing on the wrong stuff. She goes to see the wizard. And in doing so, or no, she doesn't go to see the wizard, but the wizard sees her and he's like, we want Penny. We want Penny, to be the main face of the group. And then they end up pushing the rest of the group out and it's just Penny, whatever. She becomes famous. She drops her friends. She does redeem herself by the end of the episode because then she realizes like she really does want her friends and, whatever. She goes back and they kind of clown her. They're like, girl, like, yeah, they dropped you and now you trying to come crawling back. And Penny's like, no, I dropped them for y'all. And they didn't want to believe her. But then, Sugar Mama got off the bus and was like, I can't believe she made me give up my foot massages for y'all. So they did reconcile, whatever. Then there's also the episode where Penny is like the slam poetry protege, right? Like she's doing real good with her poems and they're snapping. Um, but Dejanay's like, oh my God, I want to try, but she don't really know how to. So Penny's like, oh my God, girl, like just write, like it'll be fine, just write. Talking, trying to hype her up because she doesn't think she's gonna be good. And then Dejanay does, she does a poem basically about not having any space, having too many siblings, and everybody really resonates with it. And Penny is like pissed. She is pressed. So it's kind of like, girl, calm down. Y'all both can be good at the same thing. Chill out. There's room for two. And like that's just kind of how the series goes. Like I can acknowledge and I will acknowledge that again, these are cartoons. This is media. This is how people are being written. And like some people are supposed to represent a certain type of character. With that being said, I still don't like them. And I can still think and call out the fact that you are a trifling friend. So we're gonna keep going. But I did have a verdict. My verdict is that they're both a bit trifling, and I'm kind of side eyeing the whole friendship as a collective. Like, y'all maybe just don't need to hang out. Um, so we're gonna skip. We're not gonna skip it. We're gonna go in order because last time I tried to record this, because yes, I tried to record this like 4 times. Last time I tried to record this, I skipped him, and I didn't mean to because he's shisty. So we're gonna do it. Next is Mordecai and Rigby's friendship. I'm focusing on Mordecai. I know that there's going to be some people that are like, Rigby's soft too. I know, I know, I know, I know. Don't shoot me. I know. But Mordecai sucks more. I'm always laughing and it never records it. I hate that. He does. He does, y'all. He does. And I'm going to tell you why. Watch. So we start off with Death Punchies, right? It's the episode where we basically find out that every time there's a disagreement and like they got to pick an order or whatever between Mordecai and Rigby, they always do Death Punchies and Mordecai is always beating on Rigby. And I mean like kicking him in the nuts, holding him down. Like, and I mean, yes, I guess some people are friends that way, but like, dog, clearly it bothered him because he learned how to do the death punch and he was willing to die in lava. instead of let you win. Because the whole thing, like Mordecai, I want to say go look it up, but I'll tell you. Mordecai, like, they're playing a game. Rigby don't want to be player two. They do death punchies. Rigby's like, you always beat me in death punchies. I'm gonna beat you this time. And then he goes and learns how to do the death punch from this dude, right? Mordecai finds out he learns how to do the death punch, learns how to do the death block. So now they're at a stalemate, right? And it gets to a point where like they literally keep punching and blocking so much that they're in like this pit and there's lava coming into the pit. And Rigby would rather die than let Mordecai win again. And it kind of seems ridiculous at first because, like, dang, bro, really? You'd rather die? But, like, not, yeah, fam, I'd rather die. Like, you win every time because you know you're bigger than me and you're stronger than me. Like, I am 1/3 of your size. Of course you win. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. So, off rip alone, that automatically I understand why he could not stand him. Well, not even not stand him, but like I get why it was like I'm not we're just gonna have to die here. We're just gonna have to die here, bro. Um, so then this is kind of where he starts to really show his character. Because I feel like people are expecting me to bring up the whole like pushing him off the microwave. Yes, it was a messed up thing to do, but Rigby pushed him first. They were already arguing. They're used to shoving each other. So like he didn't think that pushing him off of a microwave was gonna kill him. I don't think he even intended to push him off. I think he's just stronger than Mordecai, and that caused him to, fall off and die. And yes, he did say, "I'll kill you," but like earlier in the episode, doesn't Rigby also go like, "I'll kill you" to Mordecai? So that's just kind of how they talk to each other. So I'm not bringing that up, but this is what I am about to bring up is again more so about like Mordecai's character, about who he is, and I'm not going to talk about stuff that he does that wasn't to Rigby because I know he did stuff to CJ. That's a whole different thing. Like he just sucks. But Lift With Your Back was the episode where Mordecai and CJ were constantly like going on dates and doing stuff and spending time together, but Mordecai was on the clock. So he was asking Rigby over and over, like, hey, can you cover for me? Can you cover for me? Can you cover for me? And like Rigby is doing it, but like less and less and less enthusiastically. And then there is this meeting, right? And it's like Benson, it's Skips, it's the whole Parks team. And Benson is basically saying, like, oh, Mordecai, perfect. I'm glad you're here. You can go with Rigby to help him screw in light bulbs because he's basically useless. And Rigby takes offense because he's like, I'm not useless. I do stuff. And he's like, tell him, Mordecai, I'm not useless. And Mordecai's like, oh yeah, you're fine. No, no, say I'm not useless. Nah, man, you're cool. You're cool. You're my friend. No, tell them I am not useless. Like this is literally the conversation they have. And Mordecai is basically like, I don't know, man. Like anytime that we're working together, you're pretty useless. Excuse me? This is after you've been asking me to cover for you all week? How useless was that when you needed me, huh? And he even says this, right? Rigby even goes like, "Bro, but I've been covering for you all week. What about that?" And he's like, Mordecai with a straight face looks him dead in the eye and is like it's the least you could do. What? Who are you talking to? Who do you think you're speaking to right now? Because you're supposed to be my friend. What do you mean it's the least I could do? The least you could do is show up to work and do your job. The least you could do is give me your check because I did your job for you this week. That's the least you could do. I'm gonna tone it down. I'm gonna breathe. I'm good. But ah, you see? Like what the because and it's like I'm really struggling to express myself right now because I'm challenging myself to not curse and it's not fun. um But no. So, yeah, like Ruby calls him out on it. He calls all of them out on it for, like basically insinuating that he's freaking useless. He quits. Eileen is the one that kind of gets them to reconcile and whatever. Um, the other thing that I'm going to bring up that like really made me despise Mordecai, because like obviously there's other stuff, but this is kind of like the nail in the coffin for me, was when it was Rigby's graduation. Rigby had gone back to school. He's going to graduate. And everybody else is trying to help him with his graduation party. They're like helping him, set up everything. And Rigby is trying to ask Mordecai, he's like, hey, can you help me write my speech? Mordecai is blowing him off, just giving him the cold shoulder, acting like he's too busy for him, whatever. And Rigby's like, dog, what is going on? Like, what's up? So Mordecai basically like goes on the road, like he like ditches town. And at one point when Rigby calls him and asks like, "Hey, can you help me?" Mordecai's like, "Well, you're graduating. You're basically gonna have to learn how to do all your stuff by yourself anyway." It's like, first of all, who was up all night doing their assignments? Me, not you. So what are you talking about? I'm gonna have to learn how to do it on my own. I've already been doing it on my own. What do you? So we move forward. We get to the point where um Rigby is trying to give his speech, right? And he gets too nervous. He runs off stage, and Mordecai shows his face and he's like, hey, I guess it's time for me to tell you why I've been acting like a prick. He doesn't say that, but he was acting like a prick. He's like, I guess it's time for me to tell you I've been acting like a prick. And he says verbatim, well, not necessarily verbatim, but this is what he says. He says he struggles with seeing Rigby do well because he liked being better than Rigby. So you're going to tell me on a day that is supposed to be about celebrating a win for me that you are having a temper tantrum. You've been having a tantrum all day because I've been doing well for myself and you didn't feel like doing good for yourself? You'd rather sit and be mad at me because I decided to do something with my life instead of being like, you know what, maybe I should do something with my life. Maybe even though I don't like going to school, I'm good at art, I'm good at whatever. Maybe I should. No, I'm just gonna be salty that you wanted to do better with your life. Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead. Like what? Shut up. Like cancel the whole friendship. Like I said, I understand that Rigby was kind of a prick in the beginning of the series, but I genuinely feel like as the series developed, Mordecai got worse and Rigby got better. You know? So that's my 2 cents on it. And I might need to rewatch the whole series again. I've been picking and choosing which episodes I want to watch, Avi, but he's just so annoying. I'll move on. Oh, another sucky friend that we have is Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Now, you might be thinking, Jess, he's not that bad. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And everything that I'm about to list here is mainly stuff that he's just done to Mac. You have to keep in mind, he's a prick to everybody. But I'm bringing up about the fact that this is supposed to be his best friend. And this is what you do to your best friend? Yo, homie, the boy that thought you up, this is how you do him? Ah, you can stay over there. You can stay as far away from me as possible. But here we go. So, we start off with the Infernal Slumber episode. Basically, Blue has convinced, I think, Wilt and Eduardo to come with him to. I love how I stopped giving like explanations on what the shows are, too, by the way. I just assume you guys know what Foster's Home is. But yeah, so Blue comes, or yeah, to Mac's house in the middle of the night with Wilt and Eduardo, right? And he's like, "Hey, we're gonna come and have a sleepover," and Mac was like, "No, because my mom is not supposed to know that I still come and see you, because that is why you're at Foster's to begin with. Remember?" Blue didn't care, so they break into Mac's house. Chaos obviously ensues, and then Coco and um, what's that girl name? That little black girl, they they come to Mac's house and they demand to be let in because they're like, we should have been there too. Um, then Blue tries to prank Mac's mom and Terrence, knowing that if they get caught, Mac can't come see him anymore, and then he gets put on the market to be adopted. Like he don't think, bro. He don't think. So, anyways, he tries to prank Mac's mom, and then I guess he almost wakes Terrence up, but like he's half asleep. I don't really know. I do believe he was half asleep actually. I'm acting like I didn't look this up. I do know. I just say that a lot. Because I don't want to have to take responsibility for stuff like, oh, I don't really know. Yes, I do. I know. Long story short, uh, Blue basically almost gets them caught because he don't know how to stop. Like you already done brought people into my house after I told you you're not supposed to be over here. Then you got more people coming into my house that weren't supposed to be here. Now you're trying to wake my mama up, even though you know she gonna be mad. Like, oh my God, Blue, stop. It gets worse. So this one isn't the worst thing ever. It's just showcasing how selfish he is. In the episode, sorry, in the episode, Camp Keep a Good Mac Down, Blue eats all of the supplies. Excuse me, before they like get to camp. Before they even get fully settled, he's eaten everything. So the whole episode is basically about how they have to go forage and like get food because Blue don't know how to hold back the greed. You know, that's the greed they talk about in the Bible. Um, this was actually this and the next thing that I'm about to list are the two things that really solidify that Mac needs to let him be adopted by somebody else. Um, so the episode I only have surprise for you. Mac literally just goes to Mr. Harriman's office and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Harriman, Blue loves to throw me surprise parties. I hate the surprise parties because he always finds a way to humiliate me. And I do believe at one point he even like has a surprise party where Mac is like either in the shower or like freshly out the shower or in his underwear or something of that nature to where he's exposed by everybody at the party and Blue thinks it's funny. So he's telling Mr. Harriman, he's like, "Hey, Mr. Harriman, I don't want any surprise parties. Like I know it's not my birthday. Blue likes to throw them when it's not my birthday. So please, no surprise parties, right?" Mr. Herman's like, "Oh my God, yeah, I bet. No surprise parties. Don't worry. I got you." Liar. So Blue is, in fact, planning a party. Mac basically notices and realizes there's decorations and stuff everywhere, so he tears it all down. And as he's tearing it all down, they come to him, like the Foster's people, like the whole group, basically. They're like, "Hey, Mac, why are you doing this? Like, we were throwing this party for Mr. Clown because it was like a new clown had just gotten to Foster's home, so it was supposed to be a party for him, right?" So Mac's like, "Oh my God, okay, I'm so sorry. Let me help." And he like redoes all the decorations. He like helps reset everything up. He fixes everything. And then Blue is like, "Oh my God, since he's a clown, we should all put on like clown makeup and like pretend to be clowns for him." So they all put on clown makeup, right? And then he comes in, right? Tell me why it's Mrs. Madam Foster. Yeah, it's Madam Foster, right? Not Mrs. Foster. Madam Foster. Yeah, it's Madam Foster. Tell me why Madam Foster comes out of this clown suit and they're all like, "Surprise." You got the whole house to lie to him. I would literally be like, "You know what? That told me I can't trust any of y'all. I'm never coming back. Like, I'm not coming back. Why you and then you lied to me? Why? Nah, nah. Because now I know y'all will literally side with him. No, thank you. I'm good. Sometimes you got to teach them through punishment. Like, I'm not coming back now. Nope. I might be sounding a bit harsh, but then I'm going to tell you about this one, and it's just like, no. Um, this one is Party is Such Sweet is it soiree or soiree? I'll put it on the screen for y'all to tell me. Um, but basically, Madam Foster is not at home, right? Like she leaves with Frankie and they tell everybody like, "Hey, no ragers, we're not gonna be here." And Blue is like, "Oh my God, perfect. Let's throw a rager." So literally. So they throw a rager. And Mr. Harriman comes back. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. They throw a rager. Duchess gets really irritated. Y'all remember Duchess. I'll put her on the screen too. Duchess. She gets all raggedy and she's like, there's no way y'all are gonna be throwing a party. I want this to be done." And Mac is like, "Actually, for the first time in my life, I agree with Duchess. This is a bad idea." So Blue, this is where I'm like, this is crazy. Blue offers Mac candy, right? He offers him like sugar or chocolate. And Mac has a sugar problem. It's basically like offering alcohol to an alcoholic, like a recovering alcoholic. Like he should not have done that. So Mac runs away the first time, and then the second time he like brings up his concern. Blue like convinces him to start eating some candy. I think either he convinced him or Mac like runs into some more candy. He can't help himself. One of the two options. I might correct myself. I might have to go back and look, but I do think Blue actually gives him candy. Um, but yeah, Mac basically gets so high off sugar that he swings around the house, I believe. He also manages to strip naked. And then he runs through town. Remember, he's 8 years old. So that's That's a lot of crime for a child. Uh, all because he's high off of sugar. So, I mean, long story short, they do end up going to retrieve him, and then Blue gives him some sugar-free gum to kind of like mellow him out. But it's the fact that you are using that stuff against him to get what you want. Like, bro, I did look up and find out that like Blue was supposed to get character development as the show went on, but the network was like, nah, we don't want there to be any continuity. Is that how you say it? Continuary? Yeah, yeah. They don't want they wanted you to be able to watch an episode and not have to watch the next episode to know what happened in the last episode, you know? Um Basically I just don't like the behavior. And there's a lot more that Blue does as well that shows you how much of a prick he is. I think I said that earlier as well, but I just didn't want to go over all of it because we'd basically be talking about half of the episodes of the show. So, if you really want to look into it, just go watch the show. He sucks. Moving on, we're going to The Princess Diaries. Lily, come here, girl. No, you did not run. You're not getting out of this unscathed. You suck. As a best friend, you suck, bro. She does. And you know why? Starting off strong. We start the movie, and I didn't even read the books, but we start the movie, right? With Mia and Lily kind of talking to each other. They're riding their scooters. And Mia has mentioned something about still being a bit upset about her dad passing away. Her father passed away 2 months ago. And Lily decides to say, instead of being like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, like, I'm sorry that you're still going through that. Is there anything I can do? She says, "Hmm, hasn't it been like 2 months? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I was on a time limit for my mourning period. And yes, I understand that Mia wasn't like close to her father. She didn't know him for real, like not all that well. But it's still a very jarring thing. Ignore this. I've been resting on my wrist. But it's still a really jarring thing to see, like, or to find out, like, yo, I I knew I had a dad, and now he's dead. And it's possible she's mourning the lost opportunity. You know, the fact that she'll never get to know him now. Like, who are you to rush me, girl? Anyways, Um, so Lily's also just a low-key hater, not just to Mia, but like in general. So there's this scene where Mia is telling Lily like, "Yo, somebody literally just actively sat on me," and Lily like brushes her off. She's like, "Yeah, whatever, that sucks." But look, the two popular kids are kissing. Ew. Is it ill because they're kissing, or is it ill because nobody wants to kiss you? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe if you unscrunch that face up to stop looking like a pug so much, you might have somebody ask you out. But, she wants to sit here like that. So, oh my God. Mia picks Lily up in a limo, right? They're in high school. If my best friend in high school were to pick me up in a limo with a whole makeover, been hype. I'm like, oh my God, you look amazing. Where'd you get this limo? This is insane. Do we have to pay for this? Like, can we do this every day? Are you gonna walk like this every day? But not in a negative way. Mia opens that door and takes off that hat, and Lily literally looks at her and is like, who ruined you? God forbid a girl wants to try a new style. Like example A, like that literally be like me calling up my best friend right now, FaceTime. Excuse me. And she's like, ew, what happened to your hair? Excuse me. I think I look great. Thank you. And even if you do have like a way to criticize, you don't have to berate me to the point of tears like Lily does. She literally continues going off on Mia to the point where Mia starts to almost cry. Like, no, she's not even almost cry. She does cry a little bit. And we're in the limo together. Like, back up off me. Then Mia calls her out on it. She's like, yo, you don't have to be so like rude to me, basically. And Lily takes such offense. She's like, I'm gonna take off our friendship bracelet of God knows how many years. I can't even call you out without you threatening our whole friendship. You have to be right. Jesus, no thanks. So it's already gross. Like it really just gives jealous. But then Mia was supposed to go on Lily's show after Lily finds out that Mia is a princess, right? Not even because she wants to have some, like, just to have her friend on her show, specifically because you're a princess. Now I want you on my show. So you already were trying to use me. But Lily gets pissy that Mia cancels on her because she wants to go to the party that uh that dude she's crushing on, that surfer looking blonde guy that tricks her into kissing at the reporter stand. Like, he was a jerk for that. Um, but yeah, he sucks. But she also sucks because she gets mad at Mia, which, I mean, yes, you have a right to be a little bit upset with her for the reason she cancels, but at the same time, Lily sucks. Like, she sucks because Mia could have been on the show next week. Like, yes, she canceled, but I literally can do it next week. The party won't be happening next week. I'm putting my hands up simply because I understand that might be a weak point. It could be a weak point. I acknowledge that, but I just feel like she got mad for no reason. Like, bro, you were already pissed at Mia because she got a new look. She found out she was a princess. Now she's getting invited to this party, and yes, it happens to be at the same time as your show, but you have the show every week. You also had a backup. You'll be all right. Um, so the verdict for me is I'm giving it a strong side eye. I definitely would have said like they probably shouldn't be friends at all, but in the second movie, Lily like has chilled out quite a bit. So, well, either she's chilled out or they just gave her less lines. But okay, I'll be honest. I thought I could do this all in one episode, but every time I try to talk about all of these characters, it becomes more than like an hour. And I really just am not at the point where I want to have episodes that long yet. So I'm going to stop here. And this is great because now I have a part two. We can finish the list there. Please send any suggestions that you have, any people that you feel like were genuinely horrible best friends and nobody's really talking about it, or maybe everybody's talking about it because I feel like some of these people they're talking about it. Um, like everybody knows Dejanay sucks. Everybody knows that the Proud Family friend group just sucks. But yeah, just let me know if you guys enjoyed this. If this is the kind of stuff you would like to keep talking about, I'm down. If not, I will go right back to the other stuff. I have more to talk about with that too. I'll probably alternate. Honestly, I don't really need anybody's approval. This is my channel. But but your opinions are nice. Um, but yes, like, subscribe, return. I will be back. I love you all. This was fun, and I'll see you later. Bye.